Someone in your circle is quietly hoping you fail. They laugh with you, they hug you, they say, I'm proud of you. But every time something good happens in your life, they ask one simple looking question that somehow makes you feel small, confused, or even guilty for winning. That's not curiosity. That's jealousy pretending to be friendship. And once you clearly hear these three questions, you'll never ignore them again. And if you become a best version of yourself, just hit the subscribe button so you never miss the chance to rise and grow. Let's get straight into it. I'm not here to make you paranoid. I'm here to help you see clearly. Because jealousy doesn't always show up as hate. Sometimes it shows up as concern. Sometimes as jokes. Sometimes as questions that sound normal until later, when you replay them in your head and think, wait, why would they even ask that? The scary part is this. Almost everyone has asked one of these questions before. The real difference is why they asked it, so let's break it down. Question 1. So, how did you even do that? At first, it sounds harmless. It sounds supportive. It sounds like interest. But tone matters. A real friend asks because they want to learn. A jealous friend asks because they don't believe you deserved it. Notice how it's asked. Not, I'm proud of you, tell me how you did it. Instead, there's a pause, a raised eyebrow, a small forced smile, almost like they're trying to solve a puzzle that shouldn't exist. Because in their mind, you weren't supposed to win. This question isn't about your effort. It's about doubt. They're looking for luck, shortcuts, help, or excuses. Anything that makes your success feel less real. They want a reason so they can say, oh, that's why. When you talk about hard work, they go quiet. When you talk about struggle, they suddenly agree. But when you mention luck, they relax because luck means it wasn't really you. A jealous friend hates one thing more than your success, the idea that you earned it. So if someone keeps asking, how did you even do that? Every time you level up, understand this. They're not asking to be inspired. They're asking to feel better about themselves. Question 2. Don't you think you're doing too much? This one is tricky. It sounds like care. It sounds like concern. It pretends to worry about your health, your peace, your balance. But let's be honest. Nobody asks this when you're lazy. Nobody asks this when you're stuck. Nobody asks this when you're average. They ask it when you start changing, when your routine changes, when your priorities shift, when your goals require sacrifice. Suddenly you're doing too much. Suddenly you're not the same anymore. Suddenly they miss the old you. Of course they do. The old you didn't challenge them. The old you didn't remind them of what they weren't doing. The old you made them comfortable. This question is really a request in disguise, a request for you to slow down so they don't feel left behind. A real friend might worry about your health, but they'll never try to stop your growth. They might say rest, but never quit. They might say slow down, but never dim your light. A jealous friend wants you comfortable, not successful. Predictable, not powerful. Available, not rising. So when someone keeps asking if you're doing too much, listen closely. Sometimes too much really means you're doing more than me, and it makes me uncomfortable. And that discomfort is not your problem. Question 3. Why are you acting different? This is the guilt question, and it hits deep. It makes you question yourself. It makes you wonder if you've changed for the worse. But here's the truth. They're not asking why you changed. They're asking why you no longer fit the role they gave you. Growth feels like betrayal to people who benefited from the old version of you. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop being available all the time, when you stop accepting nonsense, they call it acting different. No, you're acting true to yourself. You can't improve your life and keep everything the same. That's impossible. Someone will lose access. Someone will feel uncomfortable. Someone will feel threatened. So they ask this question hoping you'll feel bad for growing, hoping you'll reassure them that you're still the same, still reachable, still below them. Because if you've changed, they have to face the fact that they haven't. Bonus question. Are you sure some of your friends aren't jealous of you? This question often comes from someone who is. People who feel jealous talk about jealousy. People who feel threatened talk about threats. People who feel behind compare constantly. Jealous friends warn you about fake people while secretly feeling bitter. They joke about your success not lasting. They downplay your wins to protect their pride. This is how insecurity hides. Sometimes you only realize it years later when you look back and see who quietly discouraged you or made your growth feel awkward instead of exciting. They weren't trying to hurt you. They were trying to protect how they felt about themselves, and that's what makes it dangerous. So, what should you do? Don't confront them. Don't accuse them. Don't explain yourself. Just observe. Notice who celebrates you loudly and who barely reacts. Notice who asks questions to learn and who asks questions to feel better. Notice who grows with you and who only like the old you. Because jealousy isn't loud, it's quiet. It's subtle, it repeats itself. Jealous friends don't want you to fail. They want you to stay the same, close enough to compare but not high enough to outshine them. That's why they don't stop you directly. They plant doubt and let you slow yourself down. And if you let them, you will. You don't need understanding from people who refuse to understand your growth. You don't need approval from people who benefited from your limits. And you don't need to explain your change to anyone who isn't changing too. Outgrowing people isn't betrayal, it's proof. Proof that something inside you chose to move forward. So if someone keeps questioning your wins, minimizing your effort, or making you feel guilty for growing, don't label them. Just create emotional distance. Protect your progress, protect your confidence, protect your silence. Because the higher you rise, the fewer people clap honestly. That's not loneliness, that's growth. And sometimes the real test of friendship isn't who stays when you're broken. It's who stays genuine when you're becoming unstoppable. If this felt personal, that's good. That feeling isn't fear, it's clarity.